Alright, it's Black Friday, and of course that means some great deals are available for mining equipment. And in this video, we're gonna sit down together and I'm gonna show you all of the best deals that I've been able to find for this Black Friday and Cyber Weekend. So that's what's coming up after this quick word from our sponsor. Coin Mining Central is an online store for ASIC miners, and there's no doubt that right now ASIC mining profitability has just been going up like crazy in these past few months. And the miners that I'm personally most interested in right now are probably the Ice River AL2 Light Home Alephium miner and the Jasminer X16Q, which I still think is probably the best ASIC miner available for at-home miners like myself. Coin Mining Central are also continuously providing me with exclusive discount codes for you guys, like the code 𝗬𝗑, which gives you $125 off on every miner in your order. I am also very excited to tell you that Coin Mining Central have recently launched a loyalty program that lets you earn points in loads of different ways, like signing up for their newsletter or following them on social media. You also earn points on every order you make with them, and these loyalty points can then be redeemed for massive discounts on your next purchase. Now, on top of this, with Coin Mining Central, worldwide express shipping is always free, and there are never any added payment fees during checkout or anything like that. The listed price is always the total cost you'll pay for the miners. And I did a lot of research before I decided to partner up with Coin Mining Central, and there were two clear things that stood out to me about them. The first one being that as opposed to most other ASIC vendors that are based overseas, Coin Mining Central is registered and run out of England, Europe, which means they have to adhere to the very strict regulations for customer support and personal detail protection that we have over here. And of course, all brand new miners also come with a full manufacturer warranty. The second thing is their pretty much spotless track record of delivering miners to happy customers like you guys for well over 5 years at this point. So please go check them out today. I'll have the discount codes and link for you down in the video description. Alright, we're gonna look at all kinds of mining equipment in this video, but since Coin Mining Central were so kind as to sponsor this video, let's start by looking at their site first. And I've got their website up here, and as you can see, their sale is running until the end of the weekend here. So you still have plenty of time to kind of catch one of their deals here. And essentially what they are doing is they are just doing a sale across the board on essentially all of their miners. You can see here, now of course their website is in British pounds, but you know, as they say here, free worldwide shipping. They ship, you know, all around the world. So don't worry about that. It's just their prices are in British pounds, but you can convert them up here to USD or any other currency. But just to understand what they're kind of doing with their Black Friday sale here is any miner that costs up to £1,999, you get 75 pounds off. And any miner between 2,000 and essentially 5,000 pounds, you get 150 pounds off. And then you can see there's a tiered system here of basically the more expensive the miner is, the more money you get off the miner, the bigger the discount, right? So if you just want a little kind of point of reference here, you see you have the first kind of break that gives you a higher discount is at 2,000 pounds, which is essentially 2,500 US dollars. And then the next break is at 5,000 pounds, which is essentially $6,300. You get it. And of course, these discounts, they're a little higher if you're thinking USD instead of pounds, because pounds are worth more than USD. You get how currencies work, I'm sure. Now, one thing I want to note here is that there's no need for any code or anything like that. As soon as you add the miners to your cart, the discount is applied automatically. But if you do want to support me, essentially for free, if you are going to buy any of these miners, if you could just use my affiliate link, which I'll put down in the video description, it essentially means that I get a small commission on any of the miners that you buy at no extra cost to you. So it's essentially a quote-unquote free way to support the channel here so that I can afford to pay for groceries next month without it costing you anything extra if you are going to, you know, get any of these deals anyway. So if you do that, thank you so much. But now let's look at some miners. So when people come to me and ask, oh, what should my first ASIC miner be? Usually I say, well, start by looking into either some ET hash miners or some script miners. So let's start by having us look at those first. And in terms of ET hash miners, I would say the best first one to look at right now would probably be the Bombax one. You can get either the 3200 one or the 3800 megahash one. And the reason I recommend this is because it's essentially offering a pretty good sort of value proposition, I guess, for both being, you know, silent and being able to run on 120 volt as well as 240 volt, but also not pulling too much power and being pretty efficient and good value for money in terms of hash rate per dollar spent. It's a real jack of all trades type of miner here. And of course, the advantage of ETH miners is that it's a very commonly used algorithm used by a lot of different coins. You know, some standouts would be OctaSpace or ETC hash for Ethereum Classic, which this thing also can mine. Now, of course, there are some newer ETH miners on the horizon, like the Jasminer X44 series and the new 𝗦𝗡𝗚 V2 series. However, all of those are essentially still just at the rumor stage. We don't know when or even if at this point they are even gonna come out. So if you want something right now, this I would say is the best ETH miner available in terms of just best balance between, you know, value for money, efficiency, and ease of use, especially for at-home miners. Now, moving on to script mining for coins like Dogecoin, Litecoin, Bells, and so on. Obviously, the big advantage there is you're not just having an option of mining all of those coins, but you can actually merge mine all of them at the same time. And I'm gonna go through a range of different miners here, from, you know, just small at-home miners for people just starting out to massive big boy ASIC miners with insane performance and efficiency. So starting with, if you just want to get something small to start out in mining, this would probably be where you would fall. It's the latest Gold Shell Mini Doge version 3. It gives you 700 mega hash, which, you know, it's okay in terms of power efficiency for these small kind of at-home box miners. But of course, it doesn't, you know, stand up to the biggest ones in terms of mining efficiency or even value for money in terms of hash per dollar. But it is a cheap, good little starting point. And this thing, I've got one running right next to me, is actually pretty profitable. I believe after my somewhat expensive power, it's still bringing in almost $2 of profit per day right now. So yeah, pretty good value proposition at just, well, it will land kind of at around $800 with the discount code. But moving on, if you still want something suitable for at-home mining, I'd say the step up would be the 𝗤𝗡𝗥𝗧𝗏 DG Home 1. It's definitely more power efficient than the Gold Shell, also gives you a significant amount more hash rate, but of course it's also more expensive. But this one, pretty good unit. Now there is this whole 𝗏 miner that's coming out that, you know, is supposed to kind of knock this one out of the park, but, you know, we're yet to see if that one is even real. So if you want something right now for at-home mining, this would be it. It runs off of 120 volt as well as 240. It's quiet and it doesn't pull too much power. So that would be kind of where you would fall if that's your range. Now, going up one more step to like full size ASIC miners, which, you know, pull 3000 plus watts and are loud and generate a lot of heat, you can kind of go two different ways. You can either go for just as much hash rate as possible for your money, or you can go as much hash rate as possible per watt of power your miners used. And essentially right now, you know, with how profitable Dogecoin and script mining is at this very moment, power efficiency almost doesn't really matter that much. Well, it matters, but it matters way less than it used to, because script mining is so profitable. Even if you're getting not as much hash rate per watt of power, you're still kind of generating a lot of income right now with those machines. So, you know, then you might want to lean more towards hash rate per dollar to get a quicker ROI. Or, you know, if you still want efficiency, if you're looking at it in a more long-term perspective, perhaps you want something that's going to stay profitable for much longer, then, you know, efficiency is more important to you. But if we start at the other end, which is just best value in terms of hash rate per dollar spent, then that would be the Gold Shell DG Max, where you're getting, you know, 6.5 gigahash for $4,000, or about 4,500 with the discount applied. Then moving up one step, you would go for something like the AlphaPex DG1 Plus. I'd maybe go for maybe the 13 gigahash version there, or, you know, there are different tiers here with different price points, of course, with how much hash rate you want of this machine. And this one is a little bit more expensive per gigahash of hash rate, but you're also getting a little bit more hash rate per watt of power it's using. Then as another step up to the, you know, the best of the best essentially would be the L9. And if you want the in stock, you're gonna have to pay quite a bit for it, you know, around 15,000. Although with the discount applied, it's gonna be a little bit less than that, but 15,000 for 15 gigahash. And then of course they have different batches that will be delivered at different points, but it's a lot of money, even with the discount applied, of course, but you're also getting the best of the best. And all of these three different sort of big boy ASICs that I've shown you all lie in that 3,500-ish watts of power usage. So there you can kind of see what I mean with the efficiency, where the Gold Shell gives you 6.5 gigahash at their 3,400 watts, but the Bitmain here gives you 15 gigahash at that 3,400-ish watts. So there's the range of efficiency there, with the Bitmain giving you more than twice as much hash rate per watt of power. But before we move on from Coin Mining Central, I do also want to talk about Alephium miners, because not only did iServer recently slash the prices on all of their Alephium miners, but you're getting that discounted price plus the Black Friday Cyber Weekend discount on top of it. So let's look at the two kind of ones, which would be the iServer AL2 Lite, which is just gonna be around $700 with the Black Friday discount applied, which pretty good deal there. And the AL3, which is the big boy Alephium miner, which at 4,000, yeah, it would be just above 4,000 with the Black Friday discount applied. Now, the reason why I kind of am interested in these Alephium miners is because, for example, if we look at this AL2 Lite here, and we look at the profitability, you know, of course, profitability changes literally all the time, but you can see here, this thing still makes well over $3 per day after power here. And the kind of thing that I'm thinking about a little bit is like, if we are on our way into an altcoin season now where, you know, out of nowhere, all of these altcoins have their massive spikes up in price, that means that like Alephium hasn't really had that yet. You know, yeah, we've been trending a little bit upward, but so has everything. And of course, none of this is financial advice and I can't tell the future or anything. But usually what we do see during altcoin season is kind of a bit of sideways, a little bit upwards action, and then out of nowhere, the altcoins just, you know, balloon up to the sky. And that means essentially is you can be mining with this, you know, pretty profitably for a while. And then out of nowhere, that whole bag of Alephium is now worth so much more. And not only that, but what do you think is going to happen to the resale price of all of these miners when, you know, out of nowhere, the coin is now worth 5 times as much as it was just a few weeks ago. And these miners therefore also make 5 times as much in terms of revenue per day. Of course, the resale value of these things is going to skyrocket as well. So what's not to say that you can get this now, mine on it for, you know, a few months or something, and then all of a sudden your bag just skyrockets in price, as well as the profitability for this thing, and then you're able to sell the miner for twice of what you bought it for, and you have all of this Alephium that you've been mining and saving that you can now also sell at a much, you know, increased price. Anyway, of course that's all hypothetical, but that's just where my mind is at with all of this. Of course, the Alephium network hash rate is most likely going to grow a significant amount when this batch of lower price miners ships out. But if this batch is big enough to heavily reduce profitability, I guess remains to be seen. And of course, maybe there is no coin price increase for Alephium at all, or maybe there won't be any altcoin season or anything, you know. We can't tell the future, and in the end, buying mining hardware is an investment, and with all other investments, it comes with risk involved. I tend to be very enthusiastic about mining, so when I see something like this, I get really hyped up, but, you know, do your own research. Of course, if you are thinking along those same lines as me, then right now could be a really good opportunity to jump on these Alephium miners because of the recent, you know, significant price reduction of these miners, plus the Black Friday discounts added on top of that. So just something to keep in mind. But with that said, I think we've talked enough about ASIC miners, so let's move on to some other deals I've found on mining gear. Starting with, airflow and cooling, which is AC Infinity. So they sell all kinds of airflow products, inline fans, venting, grow tents, all of that kind of stuff, whatever you might need when it comes to, dealing with the heat of your mining farm. And the sale they have on is incredible. So essentially now during Black Friday, they have a 10% site-wide sale, meaning everything on the site is 10% off. However, if you use my code 𝗧𝗜𝗑, you get an additional 15% off. So 10% plus 15% off. So let me just show you how that works. If we search here for something like an inline fan, let the page load for a bit. There we go. Let's get the S8, which is a tried and true, really good inline fan here. So I'm just going to add that to my cart here. And then I'm going to open my cart, go to checkout. And you can see here, I'm getting my 10% Black Friday Cyber Weekend discount there. But if I also enter code 𝗧𝗜𝗑 and hit apply, I'm getting an additional 15% off there. So 10% because of Black Friday plus 15% because of the discount code 𝗧𝗜𝗑. So check that out, link in the video description. They have all sorts of things when it comes to cooling, airflow, ducting, grow tents, all of that kind of stuff. And you know what goes great with AC Infinity inline fans and ASIC miners? Well, it's of course shroud kits. So if you want to mine with full-size ASIC miners at home, because of the better power efficiency and just the overall hash rate that you're getting, but you can't deal with the noise that those big miners put out, what you can do is just get one of those inline fans that I just showed you from AC Infinity and one of these shroud kits from Hashvortex. And they also have a sale going on right now. And essentially what you do is you just take the fans off of the ASIC miner, the loud fans, and then you plug in the AC Infinity fan instead. And then instead of these smaller, loud, high RPM computer fans on the ASIC, you have this big inline fan just blowing on it, which is a lot more quiet, so a lot more enjoyable. It's a way better way of cooling these machines, especially if you also get it with one of these 𝗪𝗓𝗡𝗪 controller boards, which essentially is a little circuit board you plug in to the fan headers on your ASIC miners, and then you can plug your AC Infinity inline fan into that, and that allows the ASIC miner to control the speed of the inline fan based on the chip temperatures in the ASIC, so it auto regulates just how much cooling it needs to stay cool enough without, having to blow the fan at 100% speed all of the time. Next, I also want to give a shout out to the best hardware wallet that there is in my, personal subjective opinion, and that's the Tangem wallet. And they are also running a Black Friday sale right now. Again, if you could please use my link, I would very much appreciate it. It'll be down in the video description, but there is no need for a code with them. You're getting 15% off anything that you order. Get the 3-card set, the 2-card set, or the Tangem ring. Well, I guess the promo code is Black Friday 15, but it auto applies itself, so you don't need to actively apply the promo code. Now, what makes Tangem so great, in my opinion, is the seed phrases for your wallet are stored physically on the cards. And to set the wallet up on your phone, you need to use at least 2 of the cards. And then anytime you want to make a transaction or anything like that, you need to tap at least one of the cards on your phone to allow you to do such a thing. But if you lose one of the cards and someone finds that card, that still isn't enough for that person to set your wallet up on their device. Because again, you need 2 cards to set the wallet up on your device. So it's very secure in that regard. I highly recommend it. To me, it offers the perfect mix between actually supporting coins that us miners, actually use. Ease of use, it's so simple to use with your phone. And then also security, which I already explained how the security works there. I genuinely really love the Tangem wallet, so yeah, go check it out if you don't already have one. Keeping your crypto safe is definitely something that's going to be more and more important now going into, you know, this, I guess, bull market that we're in. It's amazing, but also means usually there are even more and more scams and, you know, just ways of unfortunately losing your crypto if it isn't stored securely. So Tangent Wallet, shout out, Black Friday sale. Finally, I've also had a look at Amazon for any mining related deals, but unfortunately, I couldn't find very much this year, unfortunately. The best thing I could find was like a couple of CPUs that, you know, are okay for mining. You got the 5600X, which, you know, is decent for mining. Or if you want to take a step above, there's of course the 7950X, which is an absolute beast for CPU mining, but also pretty expensive. Yeah, up to you if you want to take that kind of a plunge into CPU mining. Now, what I did find on the other hand on Amazon were some deals on not mining related stuff, but just stuff that I genuinely would recommend. Starting with these headphones. Now, I recommended them last year as well. They are the headphones that I use for listening to music, as well as like if I'm editing a video, when I'm out and about on, you know, a train or in a cafe or anything like that. They have amazing sound quality, but they also have just insane noise cancellation, which is why I use them when I'm out and about. If you're someone who cares a lot about like, you know, sound quality, if you like to listen to music or something like that, I really recommend these headphones, and they're 25% off. It's pretty good deal. Now, the remaining 3 deals that I found here on Amazon, they're for anyone who might actually want to start getting into content creation, which, you know, is something I do. And I found some good deals there. I essentially want all of you to start your own YouTube channels, and I want you to make mining content. I want, you know, the mining content creation scene to grow. I want, you know, more YouTubers, more podcasters, more live streamers, everything. So what I found here, first of all, was, you know, if you're looking to start a podcast or like a live streaming or anything, this, you know, very much tried and true 𝗏𝗏 SM7, which you know, all the live streamers and podcasters seem to use these days. It's for sale, 28% off on Amazon right now, so you could go pick that up, as well as this arm for it, the Elgato low profile mic arm. It's a pretty good low profile mic arm, so that's on sale for 25% off as well. And finally, this. So this is something I absolutely love, and I've used it so much for content creation. It's essentially its own little standalone capture card, where you plug a SD card into it, then you plug an HDMI cord in from whatever you're wanting to record, be that a games console, a mining rig, anything, and then out from the little device, another HDMI cord into your display. And what it lets you do is just record whatever, you know, device you've plugged into it is. But the reason, like what makes this so special is that its own little standalone device with its own SD card. So you just click the little record button on it, and then whatever signal it's getting through the HDMI cable, it records. And why that is so good is, you know, not only is it easy to, you know, bring it between different rigs and stuff like that if you are recording different things, but also lets you record stuff like the BIOS settings of a mining rig, or you can, you know, overclock a rig and record that, and you can push the overclocks until your rig crashes and you're still able to record that crash, which you couldn't do if you were recording it with something like, you know, OBS on the machine or something like that. So it's a really nifty little device, and I noticed that it's 17% off right now, so I'll leave a link to that down in the video description as well. But yeah, that's about it. Go check out all of those deals down in the video description. Thank you for watching.